visit for the local Waffle House diner.
If, during a disaster,
Waffle House is running at full capacity, the locals are essentially unaffected.
if running at half menu or on backup generators, the locals are mildly troubled, but things will still recover.
If shut down, closed, or too badly damaged to operate,
Get the flapjack out! It has gone down!
But there's a problem with FEMA's Waffle House Index.
It does not indicate that people are out of trouble. It indicates that troubled people have a place to get a hot meal.
The only reason cups of coffee taste better when a storm stops brewing is because for a moment, unpaid bills and worrying,
How can I make this work? Takes a backseat to rebuilding. But how do you fix a city that was damaged to begin with?
Why didn't FEMA declare a state of emergency when the economy collapsed?
when the housing market's levee broke and flooded the nation with foreclosures.
Where was FEMA then?
They rebuilt Pensacola but abandoned Phoenix.
Man-made disasters aren't covered in FEMA's policy.
Only the banks got bailouts. This is not comfort food.
This is a recipe for disaster.
Making crisps just like smoldering homes.
Does Waffle House's jukebox play only the sound of sirens when your photo albums are on fire?
The coffee pours a lot like floodwater.
And steam rises off the skillet heavy as smoke. Does Compton's hope disappear like vapor?
Detroit got hit by an earthquake that took 10 years to finish.
Does FEMA stack their bodies like pancakes? Tornadoes scrambled with hurricanes are a Waffle House signature dish.
The only difference between Atlantic City after Sandy and Roanoke, Virginia is local diners now have Wi-Fi.
The homeless are on level playing fields when no one's house is standing. FEMA is doing this wrong. Why does FEMA only consider quality of life after a natural disaster? If Waffle Houses were observed 24/7, would National Geographic be filled with late-night stories thundering like the 31,000 gunshots chocolate people every year in our country?
Would the Associated Press publish a Waffle House index to identify Oakland's potential bankruptcy?
Would politicians finally notice the mass graves dug underneath their party lines?
Tragedy is already a commodity. Why don't we make it part of our diet too? It's obvious that FEMA executives don't eat at Waffle House. Waffle House is proof that quality and life can go together like separate but equal. Waffle House is proof that syrup is just as sticky as college loans when you can't afford your rent. Waffle House is proof that the American dream is less expensive if you don't. FEMA, you're not measuring quality of life.
You're measuring how quickly things can be brought back to the status quo.
You don't need a Waffle House to know which way the wind blows.
But it can show you that your victims
were smothered, covered, and capped before the disaster ever hit.